Welcome back everyone. This video I'm going to be showing you Splashy's moves, tips and tricks, and hopefully it's going to help you discover some new combos and improve your gameplay. Let's get started. Let's go through all the basic controls. So first we have number one. Number one is going to be your spin kick, but a spin kick that goes backward. So in terms of damage, it's not very high. In terms of combo potential, it's not very high because it goes backward. I would say it's mainly good for defense, jumping back, but while still hitting your opponent. So, and also one place that it works well is if you're at the corner, and if you press number one, it hits them a few times. So a combo potential would be something at the corner, and then you would go up for your combo. So that's number one. Moving on to number two. Number two is going to be your basic jump in kick, right? You're just jumping in, kicking your opponent. But if you're closer, it becomes a cross-up kick. It's going to cross over the other side and hit your opponent from the back, okay? And then if you press 2 again while you're in the air, it becomes a forward spin kick, okay? 1 is a backward spin kick. 2, twice, would be a forward spin kick, okay? Quick tip here, if you are jumping in for a kick, you can add the spin kick on top of that. So for example, you see? So press 2 again right after you hit your opponent with the jump kick. Another quick tip, the height of when you press number 2 is going to determine the distance of where you stand. So for if I press number 2 at the higher point, I'm going to land around in the middle, right? In the middle. But if you tap it twice quicker, it's going to hit your opponent all the way from this side to that side, okay? So basically, if you press 2 at the higher point, it's going to be like a more of a vertical motion. It's spinning kick, but it's coming down like more straight. But if you are pressing 2 faster, it's kind of like a longer curve. So that way you get that range. You may ask, why is that important? Because if you can control where you land, it will be helpful in the following situations. In terms of defense, right? I have 2 tips for you. Tip number 1. So when your opponent is far and you're jumping in for a kick, if you just did that, they're most likely going to hit you. They're most likely going to be ready with a uppercut. So you would get hit because you're jumping in right here. But you can trick them. You can kind of fake it by not hitting them. So you still have this spacing. So you're going to be avoiding that contact. And then once they miss that uppercut, you can go in for a punish, right? So that's defense tip number 1 from far. And if you're closer right now, so in this situation, right, you want to get out, because we are talking about defense, right? You want to get out of the situation. So what do? We want to go further. So you don't want to press when you're higher, right? You want to tap twice a little bit faster, right? So that way you don't even touch them. You're out of that area. You're out of danger, right? So now you just kind of move back. So you're good. My camera was out of battery before, but let's come back. We were talking about, getting out of the situation, right? Arcing out, right? Because if you were not aware of that, you might do something like this, coming down and bringing your opponent with you. Now you're right next to him, now you're face to face. This is not what we want, because if he blocks those 2 kicks, now it's his turn to do combos on you. So in terms of defense, that's not what we want. We want to get out, okay? On the other hand, let's talk about offense, right? Offense, if they are far away. So as I was saying, if you press 2 quickly, you can hit them from all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, right? Can you link anything after that? Yes, I just missed. You can do something simple. Something simple. But I'm gonna leave the imagination and creativity for you. But yeah, in terms of offense from far. But now let's do offense when we're close. So just like before, right? We were right next to each other. He's doing pressure on me. I'm in the corner, but before we were talking about defense, we want to get out. But now we're talking about offense, you know. Let me do some action. So now you don't want to, you know, move forward. Now you want to come straight down, right? So you want to press 2 again at a higher position. So that way you're coming down, hitting him, right? You can even get up to like 3 hits, but you just have to get the timing right. Like that. Moving on to number 3. Number 3 is your basic fireball. So when you're far, it's a fireball, but when you're closer, it's a 3-hit target combo. It'll be a punch, kick, fireball, punch, kick, fireball. You can also end it early, like punch, kick, and just do nothing. You can also punch kick into a backward spin kick, which is 1. And then you can also punch kick into an uppercut, okay? Also, when you are far away, or even closer, anywhere, if you do a fireball, you can always press any direction to do like a dash cancel. So you can even do this, or you can do this. Some things like that. So that's number 3. Last but not least, moving on to number 4. Number 4 is your uppercut. It is your shoryuken. Because this shoryuken goes forward so much, you can even hit them twice, even in mid-screen. You can also hit them twice at the corner. But if you watch my second video, you can take advantage of the restand mechanic. That way you can do an uppercut 3 times. So let me see if I can do it. Like that. 3 uppercuts, taking advantage of the restand mechanic that I mentioned on my part 2, where I talk about a few like secret techniques that you can do to increase your combos and stuff like that. Moving on to the next part, the super. There's one important thing I want to mention is that, let me show you an example. Notice the kick and the fireball misses, right? The thing is, you cannot connect the target combo after the super. What you have to do is, you have to miss the punch. After you miss the punch, you would kick into the fireball. And you can only do this when they're near the corner. So if you do this at the middle of the screen, it's not going to connect. So like that, in the middle is not going to connect. They have to be near the edge. But most of the time, if you're doing a combo and after the super, they're most likely going to be near the corner, so you can dash up into a combo. Tips and trick number 2. So a lot of people in the middle would do a combo like this and then dash up for a uppercut, right? But instead, you can actually do this. Don't finish the fireball and just go straight into a uppercut, into another uppercut. It's going to give you a little bit more damage. And you can even do something like this. And then you can go up for more combos. Tips and trick number 3. Did you see that? That is crazy. What happens is, you are doing an uppercut and then you can connect this with a forward spin kick. Because most people would just shoryuken into another shoryuken, right? But in this case, you can actually shoryuken into a forward spin kick. So the timing is a little bit strict. You basically do a shoryuken and then you tap number 2 twice, but really quick, and then you would kind of keep them grounded. The timing is a little bit strict. So like that. So you end up on the other side, and then after the spin kick, you have time to do a punch into a back spin kick, going up, and then you can do even more combos. So something to keep in mind. Whoa, 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 what is that? So there is an infinite in the game. But the developer said it's gonna be taken out in the later version. So don't waste too much time on the infinite. But I'm gonna still show you what it is, and just to let you know that there is an infinite in the game. So what you do is basically just let you know that if you press 1, right? Well, any area above 1 is going to register as 1. And number 2, same thing. Any space that's above number 2, it will register as number 2. So the trick is you're basically tapping number 2 really quick, super quick. So the way to do it is you just kind of drum your fingers, like drum your fingers on the area of number 2 and where his name is, and kind of just like drum it in a way that is really fast. And if you get the timing right, you will get the infinite. There's also another way that I do it is basically putting any two fingers together, but one shorter. So one shorter than the other, and kind of just like tapping it. Like tapping like that, just kind of like slowly tilting it, and eventually it just kind of register as like 2 consecutive super quick taps. So those are 2 ways to do the infinite. You can do it in the mid-screen or the corner. It's basically the spin kick going back and forth. But don't spend too much time on it because it's going to go away, but I just want to let you know. I'm going to leave the ending for you guys to explore and kind of pick your brains a little bit. I was planning to just end the video there because I have to go to work. But you know what, let me just show you the breakdown of the combo in case if you want to try it out yourself and in case if you're curious. So what happened is you're at the corner, right? So you want to time it so that you get 3 hits, 3 kicks coming down. Once you're on this side, right, you do the target combo, which is number 3, pressing it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, right? After that, you dash up. You dash up for a uppercut, but make sure the uppercut hits 2 times. Not this. Not this. You want it so it. Whoops. So it hits twice. When it hits twice, and then you can press number 2 twice, really quick for a forward spin kick. So it's gonna look something like this. Okay. After that, after you're on the other side, I'm gonna press 3, which is a punch, into a back spin kick, which is 1. So after you forward spin kick on the other side, you would press 3 and then you press 1. It's gonna look like that. So the next part, right? Let me go back. So 3 and 1, and you would go up for that ending. But after the super, you can do anything you want. I'm gonna leave the ending for you to play around with, but let me just go back here. So what happened was after the 3 and 1, which is the punch and spin kick, I'm going up for a 3-3 into a 4 and then a 4. 3-3, 4, and then another 4. So after the second 4, you add the super. Okay, let me go back in there. So basically this and that, and I go up 3, 3, 4, 4, and then super. So that's how my combo is kind of like how the breakdown is. So in conclusion, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys were able to find something interesting, maybe find something that you didn't know about. It's pretty amazing how there's so much to a simple game like this, right? If you haven't downloaded or tried it, download it in the Apple App Store. It's free. I think the developer is updating the game every week, so every week you're gonna get a new character. So check them out. And again, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe is always going to help the channel. I'm still new to the YouTube community. It's a very small channel, so anything is gonna help the channel. And comment below if you found anything yourself, or if you were able to do some of the things that I was showing you. Have fun, and I'll see you guys next time.